The breakthrough moment for him, which makes sense, is when we replaced income.
Okay.
Period.
Okay.
Made more money in 1 month than we would each individually make in 1 year.
Hola amigos, soy Samuel con Real Estate Hecho Fácil. En este video te traigo la plática que tuve con Isaac y Michelle. Isaac y Michelle son una pareja, son inversionistas y en esta plática ellos nos cuentan cómo ellos hace 2 años se metieron al mundo de real estate y empezaron a hacer mucho dinero, más dinero del que habían hecho en toda su carrera. De hecho, hubo un mes en el que hicieron más dinero de lo que habían hecho todo el año combinado y en ese punto ellos decidieron hacerse inversionistas por tiempo completo. Este video te va a ayudar por si tú dices yo quiero empezar, pero sabes que cuesta mucho, es muy difícil. Ellos son una prueba de que con fuerza, con consistencia y con mucha determinación tú lo puedes lograr. Ellos nos cuentan cómo Driving for Dollars les cambió la vida y cómo les sigue generando fortuna. Así que no te pierdas esta plática con Isaac y Michelle. What were you doing before being a real estate investor?
Well, I was in accounting for an oil and gas law firm.
Okay.
An oil and gas engineering firm.
Okay.
And I was there for 13 years.
Yep.
Before it got boring.
It got boring? Okay.
It got boring.
Cool. So accounting and Isaac?
I was working construction for a couple of years. So that's when we started looking into real estate, or Michelle started looking into real estate first.
Yeah. So I'm actually really intrigued by that story because in my mind, it had been always Isaac who was like, there's a lot of people that do the transition between construction to real estate.
Right.
But he told me, I was actually thinking about doing something like a social media
social media agency.
Social media agency. And it was Michelle.
I took a course.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Interesting. And it was Michelle, the one who kind of like steered me into real estate. So where'd that come from?
My grandparents were actually investors. They had rental houses.
Okay.
And my dad and my uncles, they all were remodelers, contractors. They remodeled houses. And so I learned from my dad growing up remodeling houses, painting, stuff like that. And the freedom that he had.
Okay.
And I just wanted to learn that. I just wanted to get into that and use that. And painting somehow is a stress reliever.
Okay, cool.
Not. But that's where it started, and it came to play because I took Isaac to a Tony Robbins
like a seminar.
Like a seminar. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
In Austin.
Yeah. And they had like a couple HGTV remodelers, like flippers there.
Yeah, the
and
flipper flop people and stuff like that.
Right.
Couple.
Okay. Cool.
And I was like, why can't we just start doing this ourselves? I know how to, paint and do stuff like that. And
Right. Now, how much did you know at that point? Did you know just kind of like the basic gist of it, or were you a little bit more familiar with coming up with numbers, making offers, doing the whole transaction?
I was, if you give me a house, I can change it.
Okay.
That was me.
Right.
But not the numbers.
I didn't know
side.
so much about the numbers, so I didn't know what wholesaling was.
Okay.
I just knew flipping a house.
All right.
That's all I knew.
Right.
And then we from there we decided
they offered
we'll start this.
Yeah, they offered they at those seminars, of course, they get you in to, let you know, hey, we got this course going on. We got this 3-day weekend, and we're always strapped for cash because we have a lot of kids. So we didn't have the funds to go on because it was the next weekend.
Okay.
And we actually had to borrow money from our daughter. For us to go to that weekend, and so the next weekend we booked and we went to the 3-day seminar.
It's a 3-day seminar.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then
about wholesaling.
Yeah.
Question: How much was that seminar?
Well, the 3-day weekend seminar was the class was $1,000. Right?
Okay.
And
but then it's an upsell, right?
Right.
It's an upsell.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. So the main?
The main thing was upwards of 40,000.
40,000.
Like
Holy
the main
smokes.
here, we're gonna walk your hand through the whole process, show you, get your first house under contract, help you flip it. The whole mentorship was upwards of 40,000.
Yeah.
And you guys took that?
No.
Or okay.
Couldn't afford it.
Right. Okay. Cool. But that kind of like planted the seed of we're gonna start looking into it. Did you guys look into more trainings, or what was where'd you get started? What was the next thing you did to start going into real estate investing?
So they called us, right? That same
they
company.
Called us and offered us like a low value, like, you could pay this much now and then we can pay off the rest later. Right. It was kind of like, here,
still
I'm
trying to send
you
you something, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna hook you, and that didn't pan out for nothing. It was a flop. That company ended up going under, being sued by a lot of people.
Yeah, I think the federal government got involved.
It was a huge.
And did you guys take that? Did you guys take that deal? That thing that they offered, or?
Yeah, we paid.
We paid like $2,300.
On credit cards.
We were on the line for $4,000, I think.
Yeah.
And we paid $2,300 and lots of credit cards.
Right.
Just to get started, and then.
That mentorship wasn't
what they said it was going to be.
Yeah, they were trying like look at houses and then make an offer on them, but like we didn't know anything about about anything. So
yeah, it wasn't what they claimed it to be, and so we gave up on that and just.
Did you go back to
following real estate?
You guys went back to your normal jobs and kind of like trying to have real estate work, figure it out on the like on the weekends and kind of stuff.
I started listening to podcasts and things like that, trying to get the idea of all this different, because at first I didn't know there were so many avenues in real estate that you could go for. Flip, landlord, wholesaling, things like that.
Yeah. So. Okay, cool. So you started kind of educating yourself.
Right.
I imagine you both were kind of like trying to get into it. And I know at some point you contacted someone through Facebook. And it was Homero, para Real Estate Hecho Fácil, right?
Yep.
So how's that story? Because I've heard Homero's side of the story, but I've never heard yours.
Yeah, I would see that he would be at a meetups in McKinney. So I was like, well, I don't really see too many, because we live up north, in Little Elm. So I was like, well, I don't see a lot of people doing a lot of meetups here in, North Texas. So north of Frisco or whatever. So I reached out to him and asked him, when's your next meetup? When are y'all? Then he was like, well, I think it's only certain individuals. And, I was like, well, can I kind of shadow you? And he was like, well, I'm super busy and things like that.
Right.
He kind of, I wouldn't say threw me to the side, but I think I understand now where he's coming from, because just the time that he has.
Right.
This time now, it's so precious, because he has a lot of stuff going on.
Right. And also you were not, in his radar, you were not someone that was like we get a lot of people, that want to learn.
Right.
But if we invest a lot of time in them and then we see they don't take the next steps, then that's time that we lose on some people. So we can't take a risk on everyone. Right. So, okay.
So, we just started, we heard of Driving for Dollars.
Okay.
So, we started, going around areas we knew and write down the addresses.
Right.
Then,
so like the old school.
Writing down all the addresses and then come in and putting them in a list in the spreadsheet. That was my part. Putting them in a spreadsheet, finding the owners.
And I imagine
them.
And your whole looking for resources, listening to podcasts, that's where you kind of found out about Driving for Dollars, and you were like, hey, Michelle, we're going to do this.
Right.
Okay.
So, this before, I don't even know if Deal Machine was around. But we wrote them down manually. We checked on the DCAD to get their own. So
was it 2018, 2019, somewhere around that?
It was 2019.
2019 is when we started. We first went to the Tony Robbins and thought, okay, we could do this. Let's try it. And then it was 2020 is when we really got heavy into, we when either COVID do something or we don't do something.
Got it. Okay.
And
because I had a couple of contracts that fell through just because I didn't know what I was doing.
Right.
And I offered them more too high. I locked them up too high, so none of the end buyers were looking to buy. They're
right.
Like, I can't do anything with that.
Yeah.
It's too tight. Yeah.
So I had to cancel a lot of contracts.
That you got through Driving for Dollars?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So I just built, once I built the relationship, built the rapport, and then kind of try to figure out, again, ideally what it should go for. But again, I didn't have no experience. Didn't have a mentor,
right?
So they kind of got me in writing up deals that I shouldn't have done.
Got it.
And then the confidence went there as well, because you don't know if you
of course, yeah, a deal goes through and you're like, shoot, this doesn't work. I'm just like, what am I doing wrong? Okay, right. But I know that your relationship with Homero at some point took a turning point, right?
So our first deal, well, we were in the business for over a year.
Okay.
We haven't.
Just all on your own,
all
right?
On our
Trying
own.
to, full hustle.
Swimming.
Right. Yeah. YouTube, Google kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. YouTube University, as they say.
Right.
So I signed up a for sale by owner in Lovefield, and I was talking to a lot of other investors, and I don't think I think they were looking in their own pockets.
Yeah.
I don't think they're full-hearted in trying to help somebody,
right.
Regardless. So you kind of have to be careful on, who to reach out to. So since I seen Homero's post, I could see he was a family man. He was doing a lot of deals. So I reached out to him. I was like, hey, I got this deal. I don't know if, you would want to JV with me, because I didn't know what JV means, because, and I was so desperate because, we're, again, needing the money that I was like, hey, man, I'll do, 50-50. We go 50-50 on it. And he was like, okay, let me look at it. He looked at it. He goes, that's a good deal, man. I should have somebody to buy it. But if I don't, I'll buy it myself. I was like, oh, okay. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So I think that's where our relationship started, because I seen like, okay, he's gonna help me sell it, but if he doesn't, he gave me his word that he'll be the one that buying it.
Okay.
So so he couldn't. He was surprised that nobody wanted it, so he ended up buying it, and I think he hoteled it and made some really good money off of it. So when we locked up the deal, we're closing on it. I told him I was super excited. We were like, come over to the title company and take pictures with the people. And, And he was like, well, I don't really need to, because I just need to sign documents, So, but
yeah, title company is very important.
Yeah, so
choosing the right title company.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so he came by, and that title company was horrible.
He saved the day.
Yeah, he saved the day, because they were trying to give our assignment fee to the sellers.
Oh.
So
okay.
And he was like, well, no, that's not how it works. And the attorney came out, and Homero was talking to the attorney. And the attorney was to a point where like, well, you just need to take him outside and give him a check that way. He was like, no, everything has to go through the HUD, right?
Right.
So
right.
So anyway, that's pretty much was our first deal. But again, I wouldn't say it's a turning point.
It was a year into, like a year and a half into starting.
¿Te ha pasado de que tienes ganas de ingresar al mundo de real estate investing, pero no sabes cómo empezar, no sabes qué pasos tomar y definitivamente no tienes el dinero para comprar miles de dólares en cursos? Nosotros tenemos un curso gratis que es para personas que quieren empezar a invertir en bienes raíces, pero no saben cuáles son los primeros pasos que ellos tienen que tomar. Ese curso te da un entendimiento de la A a la Z de cómo tú puedes dar tus primeros pasos para invertir en el mundo de real estate. Así que si tú estás interesado en real estate, no sabes dónde empezar, visítanos en el curso. Voy a dejar el link en la descripción de este video para que tú le puedas dar clic y ser parte del curso. Es gratis y es el mejor lugar para empezar si no tienes idea qué hacer. Okay, all right. Would you say that was like the breakthrough moment for you guys, or?
I said not.
He says that the breakthrough moment for him, which makes sense, is when we replaced income.
Okay.
Period.
Okay.
Made more money in 1 month than we would each individually make in 1 year.
That's crazy.
That was a breakthrough.
That
makes sense for that being a breakthrough.
How long did it take to get to that point?
Well, that's when. So we closed on our first deal in January 2020, right? So we're so far behind regarding bills and things. That money just
all went away.
Went
right?
away, right?
Yeah.
So and then in my construction business, they were like, "Hey, this COVID stuff is breaking out. Go ahead and go home. We'll call you when we're gonna want you to come back to work." So that's when we just started focusing all in on real estate, and all the ones we have built a rapport, they started to come in, and they start saying, "Yeah, I want to sell," and things like that. So that's when I reached out to Ameto more, and I was like, "Hey, since you helped me with this one, I got all these that they're wanting to talk to,
right.
want to make a deal. So you let me know if this is a good deal, this and that." So I think the second one, it was a duplex in East Dallas, and it was a small assignment fee, but I believe the third one was our breakthrough. For me, was a breakthrough because I think we made over. I don't know. Did you?
Yeah, it was our total on that close was like 44,000.
Okay, nice.
That was the assignment.
Okay, and at that point, you both quit.
Well,
I had already left my job.
Okay.
Prior to that, and then he was released from his.
Right.
That same year. So.
Yeah.
But you probably would have quit anyways, right? Or.
No, because she didn't want me to quit until like.
They say don't quit until you replace your income.
Yeah.
Right.
So
that's what they. That's what all the.
I was still paying to work, but
people out there.
They would always pay us late. So while I was still at home, I was still getting paid at least like 3 weeks, and then her income tax came in, and so it kept us afloat and made us focus more on real estate.
Right.
Yeah. And then this one that I found that was boarded up in East Dallas. That's where I was from, and I told Romero, "Hey, this is a good one. What do you think?" We ran the numbers, and it got to a point where it needed a lot of work, but a lot of investors did not want it. They said it was too much work and stuff like that, and even Romero was like, "Man, we just got to get rid of it," because we had to actually buy it ourselves. So we had to hotel it ourselves. So once we did that, I knew he was still kind of skeptical just because the numbers weren't there. But I was like, this is a desirable neighborhood, and everybody's going to want to live here. Mm-hmm. So come to fruition, somebody actually did buy it. It was a family that bought the property, and they were going to fix it up. So I think that was our turnaround moment, because he stayed there with us. Like I said, I didn't have any of the connections regarding hard money, who
network.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So he was there, and got all the stuff situated. And,
awesome.
I mean, he showed me, "Hey, this is our text. This is what's going on." He didn't leave anything, hide anything or anything like that.
Right.
So, that's how
Awesome.
That's our turnaround moment for me. So.
Okay, awesome. So, you guys replace your income and you decide just to formally, start your own company. After the first deals and your relationship with Homero, so how did you guys continue to have success? How do you continue to, keep the money coming in and keep the business going? What worked? What do you guys do?
Our golden nuggets, or our gold, comes from driving for dollars.
Okay, awesome.
It never fails us.
Okay,
right.
It got you your first deal, and do you still do it today?
Yes.
It's probably all of our deals besides helping family. If a family comes to us and tells us, "Hey, we need to do something with this," other than that, probably 95% of them come from driving.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we have pulled the list, but we haven't seen the big spreads that we would do on the driving for dollars.
Okay.
So
and more.
Right.
More deals from driving, like maybe 1 or 2 from a list.
Right.
Maybe 3 max, but the 95% of them come from driving for dollars.
Yep.
Okay. So how do you guys do it? Obviously now you probably are.
Oh, we got a whole
a whole system.
Yeah, we have a whole system,
and it takes 2.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
It takes 2 people.
Yeah.
To
one
be
drives
efficient.
and one is the one that's looking.
Mm-hmm.
At,
right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And what do you like? For example, what does your week look like? I know life of an investor is just changes every week, but let's say, do you guys plan it out like weekends are driving for dollars, or like 3 hours a day are for this, or how does it work for you guys?
I think we try to get a minimum of at least on a small day, right? Just, hey, we're going to go drive out today and stuff. But I don't think there's any really set time that we do it. But we at least try to get at least 300 a day, right? And
300 to drive.
Yeah, 300 a drive. Again, we're working other leads as well. So, we get that list. Michelle uploads it, scrubs the list, uploads it. We put it in a batch, send the text out first and see if we get any traction that way. And then if not, I'll end up cold calling them.
Okay.
So that's the process, text out and then cold calling.
Okay. Do you guys do postcards to those? No? Okay. Just text and cold call.
Just text and cold call.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I'm not saying that it don't work, but just being consistent on, whatever we do.
Right.
I think Homero even said it, best. He goes, all, marketing works. It's just what you're going to be consistent and stick to.
Right. So. Right. Okay. Awesome. We also, we have some people that drive for dollars and we send them postcards.
Right.
We've actually gotten 3 deals this year with postcards.
Oh, okay.
And I have some people tell us, I want to get started. And I tell them, okay, if you want your first deal, you need to at least add to the system 800 properties. Right. Because an average is taking us from 600 to 700 properties.
Right.
And they get scared. They're like, 600 properties?
Yeah.
Are you crazy? That's like the whole area. But
you'd be surprised.
Right.
If you map out your areas and you can go into a neighborhood,
right,
we can take down 300 or 400 properties
in that one neighborhood
in a 3-hour period.
Yeah. And we haven't even crossed the main street yet.
We don't spend more than 3 hours driving.
Right.
Each drive we do, and we could take down at least 300 properties.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that it shouldn't be that hard. If you're going, what you need to know, like, okay, this neighborhood, the houses are 2000 and older,
right,
built 2000 or prior.
Right.
You can't go into a new neighborhood and think you're going to find that many properties.
Of course.
Because you're not. But as long as you're diligent on where you're going to drive,
yeah,
and you have a person with you, because before he was doing it by himself. And
it's hard.
He wouldn't get but maybe 100 if that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I would spend a little bit longer than 3 hours.
He would be gone all day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then we started going together, and I map out the neighborhood. I say, okay, I tell him where to turn, and I'm taking down the houses. He's calling out numbers.
Addresses.
I'm taking down.
Okay.
I'm like hitting a deal machine. I'm hitting all the houses. And
okay.
I'm looking one side. He's looking one side.
Awesome. And I know when people are first getting started in real estate investing, the easiest thing to do is just to the disposition part is just to wholesale it, right?
Right.
But have you guys? What's your main disposition strategy right now? Are you guys starting to keep some properties, maybe do some fix and flip because that's what Michelle kind of wanted, or is wholesale still the bread and butter?
Yeah, wholesale is still my bread and butter.
Okay. I'm still waiting.
Just
I think Homero burned him.
Yeah.
Homero's story.
Well, see, Homero, what he has taught me regarding his mentorship as well, I brought value to him.
Right.
For it to make sense for him to take a chance on spending his time.
That's the way to do it.
Because, I'm taking time away from his family, taking time away from his business. So, I had to come with something on the table for him to say, okay, this guy is not going to give up. Because he even tells me, he was like, bro, you would blow me up all the time. And that's what I loved about it, that you never gave up. And then after a year without getting deals, you're still consistently on it. And even when I was working construction, they always had meetups. She would pick me up. I would be sweating and she'd change the clothes and we'll go straight to a meetup or something like that, just so we could be in the environment of, real estate,
real estate minded
people.
Yeah.
So with Homero's mentorship, that he has taught me so much in our business that that guy.
That's awesome.
I can't say too much.
Awesome.
He changed my life. Yeah, I can't say enough with that guy. So
amazing. What's next for you guys? Because one of the challenges with Drive for Dollars is that it's not super scalable. You know?
Right.
You guys have to do it. So have you guys given a thought about, okay, so what would be the next step for us? How can we make this bigger? How can we grow our company?
I think right now we're looking to bring on, hire somebody just to help with, the text or cold calling and things like that. So we have so many leads, in our system. And again, with the Driving for Dollars leads, whatever list you create, those are more gold than, pulling a list that everybody's calling on.
Right.
So, like I said, Driving for Dollars, our list, that's our bread and butter. And that's where we got most of our, deals that, it's more than a normal assignment fee, right? Normal assignment fee is what, 12 to maybe 15,000 and stuff like that. And we're making that, but with a split with Homero, you know what I mean?
Right.
So
it also helps you set apart when you're talking to the seller. You've seen the house, you know what the house looks like.
Right.
You're not filling the seller with, oh yeah, I've been by there, just like you heard the one before we started this, that he said, you've been there, right? You've seen it.
Yeah.
And we can honestly say, yes.
Yeah, I was driving around your neighborhood. I saw your property.
It's nothing that we're telling anybody is falsified or anything like that. It's, you can honestly, genuinely, and then the sellers feel that. So it makes you, it sets you apart from just a list caller. And not that there's nothing wrong with that, but you can, they just feel more secure with you, and they will call you back after 2 years.
Awesome. And I know that you guys, you first were helped by another investor, in this case, Homero, and I know there's other couples that now kind of look up to you guys, and you've kind of taken steps to help them out. So I think that's really cool. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Okay.
Well, we've helped one couple reach, take down their first deal.
Okay.
The Silvas, and it's been kind of eye-opening to help, bring blessing to another person that's starting to see, like, there's a lot in this industry. There's a lot you can do in this industry. And
because they were family friends of yours.
They were family friends of mine for a long time.
They seen what we were doing, and they were seeing our post. They seen our post with Homero in it. And then, with the real estate introfacie that came out, they were like, what do you think? I was like, yeah, you should go to those classes because it'll give you an introduction on how to get started. I mean, because we didn't have it. You know what I mean? So we didn't have
we learned
no type of direction.
Is priceless.
Okay.
So we didn't have no direction at all when we started. I said that, and to be honest with you, again, the people that you work or surround yourself with you guys, Homero, Marlon, Marlon was Homero's mentor. Yeah. You
my
coming
mentor,
in, you guys coming in, and I know if Homero vouched for you guys, it's good enough for me. So I could put my full confidence that sending a family friend like, hey, go do this because I know these guys. You know what I mean? So I think that's where they kind of started getting the idea, started going through the courses, going to the meetups. Of course, when you start, a lot of people, they don't want to be coachable. They want to think they know it all and stuff like that. So my thing is...
And not them. They've been...
No, well, not them.
Like,
I just
pour
said...
into me. And, you have to be open-minded. You have to be coachable.
Oh, yeah.
And you have to be willing to put in the work.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think that's one of the main
things. In this industry,
and consistent.
Gritty.
Right.
We tell our students, hey, it's going to take you around at least 3 months to get your first deal with daily action.
Daily action,
100%.
Right,
100%.
Okay, hey guys, thanks for stopping by. It's just such a cool story that you guys have, and just wish you the best luck moving forward.
Well, I appreciate you having us.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you for having us.